Hello, this is Cedric Aquino, and I'm on first period A day. This is the presentation for sourdough bread making. Okay, so first, before we talk about caring for our sourdough starter, we first need to know about what a sourdough starter is. So, a sourdough is a traditional bread that uses natural yeast found in the air and flour. A starter is a bread that takes a long time to rise. So that means that a sourdough starter is a traditional bread that takes a long time to rise. So first, put your sourdough starter on a ceramic, glass, or plastic container. But ceramic and glass are better in comparison to plastic. So first, feed your sourdough starter 1 cup of flour and 2/3 cup of water every 8 to 12 hours. And close it with a plastic wrap or lid so it can feed. Okay, so as you can see on the left, that is my starter. So I only have one video of me mixing the starter, so as you can see. So after that, I enclosed it with a plastic wrap. Okay, so sourdough bread making preparations. Here you will see 1 and 1/8 cups of water, 1/3 cup of sourdough starter, 3 and 1/2 cups of unbleached white flour, and 1 and 2/3 tablespoon of salt. This is what we will need to make our sourdough bread. Okay, so sourdough bread making and mixing. Here, I first mixed my starter with the water and salt and added 1 cup of flour. I then keep adding 1 cups of flour in moderate intervals. So then it will lead to this. It is a sticky and hard type. Here I didn't show the first result because I didn't get to take a picture because my hands were sticky. I lacked flour. I didn't have flour, so it took me 30 minutes to knead. So here you will see on the left the the first 15 minutes of kneading, and on the right the 30 minutes of kneading. And as you can see on the bowl on the top, you will see the sticky parts. So sourdough bread making and waiting. Here I didn't have a large bowl, so for the dough, so the dough just looked tightly packed in there. So I put the dough I needed and put it on a bowl with oil and waited 11 to 14 hours. Okay, so sourdough bread making and baking part 1. So because of my small bowl, the sourdough rose a little. So in this picture, I readied a bowl with a towel and flour. I first kneaded the bowl and took off carbon dioxide so it went back to its original shape. I then put the dough in a towel with flour at the bottom, and I covered the dough with flour at the top and closed it with a damp towel and put it in the refrigerator after 2 to 3 hours of waiting. Okay, as you can see in the picture, the sourdough rose a little. In this picture, I was preparing the other things I needed, such as flour, an egg, cookie sheet, and other stuff. I also preheated the oven. So, in this picture, I took the dough from the bowl and put it on a floored cookie sheet and brushed it with egg mixture and made an X because it looked cool. But you can't see the X because I haven't made it on the picture yet. Okay, so after preparing the bowl, I then put it in the oven for baking and waited 45 minutes. So in this, I checked my bread if it's good and it made a hollow sound. Looks like it is good enough. Looks like it is good enough. I then waited 1 hour for it to cool off. So in sourdough bread eating. So I tried out the bread and ate some of it. It tasted great, as you know, chef. So I shared it with my family and they thought it tasted great as well. Okay, so this is the end of my video. So I I didn't have enough videos because my hands were always full, but I had pictures though. So thank you for watching. Okay, so I forgot something very important, and it's how lactic acid and alcohol fermentation roles in the sourdough bread making. So, the lactic acid and alcohol fermentation has roles in sourdough bread making, like how they rise. The reasons the dough rises is because of the carbon dioxide released by the yeasts in alcohol fermentation. The lactic acid fermenting bacteria eats the sugar away and gives that sour flavor. The sourdough gets its alcohol fermentation from the yeasts in the flour and air. In summation, alcohol fermentation's role is to make the bread rise by releasing carbon dioxide and gives the bread soft texture, while lactic acid fermentation's role is to make the bread's flavor by eating glucose and giving off sour flavor. So that is the major roles of lactic acid and alcohol fermentation. I'm sure there are more, but this is all the information I got from the biology classes, and this pretty much sums it up. Thank you again, and bye bye.